corrosion, science and everything. Now we must fit our structure, that's the cathodic protection network structure, into the present reality that we call now. The scientific method allows us to think clearly, reviewing observations, opinions and evidence provided by real data, logged by accurate instruments and analysed by computers. Electrical energy is controlled by the laws of nature using electronic circuits, and this controls all accounting at global level. A nuclear explosion disrupts all energy at a level that will destroy all banking records instantly over the whole area of influence of the shockwave frequency. During the nuclear explosion, all unstable chemicals explode. All the bullets in every gun would fire at once, blowing the gun to pieces. This is why I was visited by the men in suits when I suggested a way to stop hijackers using shockwaves. Scientists are working on laser beams to attack drones, but shockwaves are more difficult to control than laser beams. So, as we continue to think about electricity, think where energy comes from and how it moves and how we protect the systems that carry it. We must start at the beginning, but where is the beginning? Everyone has a big picture, but each individual only sees the world from their own perspective. My own perspective includes all the information I have received on the internet that I view and listen to for over 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Computers are adding machines, but very accurate. Computers are the platform on which the internet rides. What you are looking at is an arrangement of waves of energy emitting photons visible to the human eye. Your brain is assembling this energy into pictures that you think you are seeing. Pipelines are constantly under threat, not just from external forces such as wars and sabotage, but from natural degradation and corrosion. The only way to truly address this is to understand the electrical element within the corrosion process, measure it accurately, and act on real data. The soppy stories that you can read on YouTube are based on Western ideologies, based on money, currency, and the man-made rule of law. We need to show that all man-made laws are overridden by the laws of nature that are studied by real scientists like us. We must not confront or compete because the rich, the money rich, own the hardware on which the internet rides, and therefore they have the power over everything to disrupt our messages. Nobody can own the software because it is useless unless published. at which stage it cannot be protected, but can only be controlled by fear of extreme violence and death. For example, George Galloway has had to leave the country because he's frightened of being imprisoned because of a law that would label him a terrorist, which is enforced by violence of the police against him. Many years ago, I was safety officer on the construction of a waveguide pipeline project. That led to bending light using glass fibre, which led to fiberglass networks that are part of the world's communications. Waves of energy carry networks of information and propaganda powered by batteries, corrosion cells, that store free energy from the Big Bang, understood by cathodic protection network scientists, technologists and engineers. In order to have control of our intellectual property, we must fit in with the present system of control using money, currency, what people call, say they are rich when they have lots of currency in their name. CPN blockchain has a business plan, and the business plan sums up the assets which we have of value. These consist of the remaining blocks in the blockchain, which are on memory sticks. We can sell web pages to the followers who want their CVs put up online for employment and personal reasons. We can manufacture and sell Alexander cells, manufacture and sell the CPN survey kit, manufacture and sell the CPN sacrificial anode. We can allow agency for all CPN products globally, as suggested by Ram Gupta. We can offer the government to allocate a head office through government grants, following the approach to our own MP who is in government financial crisis and looking for profitable innovations to support. We have everything that will provide what they need for over 100 people in Bracknell. We have the Masterclass, which is a 5-day high-level event at prestigious conference centres. This will bring in hundreds of thousands of pounds from the delegates and people who want to attend, because they are amongst the richest billionaires who actually own networks of pipelines which they are losing because of corrosion. We have training courses, all of which have been practiced and been certified. We need an experienced training manager to implement the formal residential training courses that have been run and tested in the past. We have an online correspondence course which will be run in the same way that the master's degree course is run at university level, following cathodic protection network professors engaged to the fees that they set for their contribution. These include Luis Reboledo, in Colombia, Louis K. Ake in Mexico, Oleg in southern Russia, Emmanuel Orji in Nigeria, Pham Hu Doing in Vietnam, Mustafa Abu Zaid in Egypt, Hajir Al-Massa in Iraq, John Malenkov in Moscow, Adriana Silva in Brazil, Malhaknesmi Gunasilan, who is also in Iraq. We have a 14-day residential course, and we will charge slightly less than the NACE courses, which are ineffective and do not and cannot work. We have a 7-day residential course. We have a 2-day seminar. We have connections with Nigeria University, which have undertaken to include the CPN courses in their, what they call them, in their, as part of their university courses. Emmanuel Orji and his son are in contact with this university, which is supported by Shell. We have access to the Guararema Training Centre and Research Centre, which we can interest the Chinese government into purchasing through Neosa and Valdia. We can follow through and help Abdul in Ghana, because the Chinese are interested in the action that is happening in Ghana. Thembi Damasi is in the South Africa, and she is linked to Zakes, Naomi and Martin, Lavenia and Sugan in South Africa, who all have active parts. Zakes Naomi has connected with the BRICS Alliance. Research and Development is connected with the Central Institute of Electronical Research in India and several Brazil universities. We have videos on Rumble and Patreon. We have a list of consultants by subject and fees demanded by Patreon and Rumble. We must manufacture and distribute Alexander cells as quickly as possible, because once people begin to use them, it changes the way they think. Think about the major pipelines in the world today. If electrical analysis has been applied, if systems like the Alexander cell have been used to verify corrosion control, many of these failures could have been understood more clearly and prevented. Events like the Nord Stream pipeline failure raise questions that proper analysis can answer. Because these pipelines are the arteries of modern civilization, they carry the energy that powers homes, industries and economies. Our work can help to establish world peace based on knowledge and understanding. Thank you for viewing this video, and if you liked it, please subscribe and give the thumbs up. Thank you for watching.